This is Keith Boggs with Stonebriar Property Inspection. This is the debrief for 3106 Debra Court. Okay, close that. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's really just for the title page of the report. This is your meter. So I took a little video of the meter. This is called a low flow indicator. So we want that to, when everything in the house off, this should be sitting completely still. This is how we identify supply leaks. So I took a little 30-second video, which I'm going to play so we have it for this recording. And basically we're just looking at that little wobbler there first. There, it should sit completely still. So if you think you have a leak before you call a plumber, you can actually go out to the meter and check yourself. It's very sensitive. Even if it's just barely leaking, you'll see it slowly moving.
Okay.
Once in a while, it'll vacillate back and forth like this. That's fine. But if it's constantly moving in one direction, even very, very slowly, then that means you have a supply leak. So it's sat completely still, so we know we don't have any supply leaks. This looks like a new vent they installed. Only problem is they didn't paint it. So it needs to be painted because it's going to keep it from rusting. You can see they'll rust pretty quickly. So any kind of paint, trim paint, whatever you want to paint it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask.
This is a little short video of the roof. So people are always asking about the roof, so I take videos of the roof now. This is about 2 minutes long. The roof's in good condition. Nothing major wrong with it. Good. That's a decent quality shingle. You know, it's not a cheap builder grade. It's a decent shingle.
It does look pretty good.
Yeah, it's in real good shape. It looks like it's fairly new.
Yeah, I think I might have read somewhere within stuff of looking at the house that they had put a new roof on.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty new. A couple of these skylights, the flashing hasn't been painted either. I think I've got a picture, but you see how it's not painted right there.
Okay.
So several of those need to be painted too.
And I'm guessing the skylights looked okay.
Yeah, skylights, yeah, they looked good. They all three have been recently flashed, so there may have been something in the past that went on. You don't normally see new flashing for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured.
That's something they should have disclosed if it in the disclosure, though. They always play dumb on those disclosures, though. It's almost done.
And then what about all of that?
Those are nail heads that are covered up. They're supposed to be like that.
Okay.
That's it. This is, you got several trees that are fairly close to the foundation. They don't appear to be affecting the foundation right now, so it's up to you. But if you're an actual structural engineer, they don't want trees within 10 feet of the foundation. So it's not really affecting anything. You can have some problems sometimes with plumbing. We're gonna get to there's a plumbing thing we're gonna talk about here in a minute, but you also have some high soil here. There has been a past treatment at the house. I know that because there's a treatment sticker in the garage on the panel box.
Okay.
I've got a picture of that. But this is high soil above the brick ledge. That's a conducive condition for termites. So if you're doing an FHA loan or a VA loan, and they get that termite report and they see this high soil, they're going to make you either treat it or remove that dirt. Otherwise, they won't fund the loan. If you're paying cash or you're doing a conventional loan, they won't make it. This is a hot wire just sitting up front, here hanging here.
Hey.
It's got electricity flowing through it.
That's not good.
You can't see the light. Come on, that's
a hot
stick. Yeah, a little bit right there, hot stick. So that's a live wire that needs to be either put inside a junction box, or we don't want somebody come up and touching that, getting shocked, a kid or something.
That's really, that's out.
Yeah, up by the garage. You do have a little separation of this trim board here. It looks like it just needs to be nailed back in place. Structure of the house is fine. There's really no real movement at all.
Okay. I think there was some foundation.
Was there? Okay, it's solid right now. It doesn't look like there's been any cracking or movement or anything. It looks good. That's just the location of it. This is the inside your panel box. The water heat, the breaker for the water heater was turned off. So It looks like it's brand new, like this year installed. Did they say anything about that?
Yeah, that they installed a new water heater.
They probably forgot to put the breaker on, but since it's off, I have to leave it off. If I put it on, and once that starts to pressure up, if there's a leak in there, if it's not been installed properly, then once it's pressured up, you can't turn it off.
Okay, but so the one thing that I'm wondering about, I know that there doesn't seem to be any like a drainage thing, and then there's no pan or whatever.
Yeah, there's no drain pan there. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. This is just shows there was a treatment right here.
Yeah.
Inspected and treated.
Okay.
They used to come up with a whole premise. I can't see the date or anything. I put my sticker underneath here though, where it's gonna. You said you had questions about this, but I think we already talked about that.
Yeah, so was it at one point?
Yeah, it was,
do you think it was in here, and then they decided to put a shower in there,
Absolutely.
and then they put it to the outside?
They never put them in the garage here.
So then what about, like, where is like, if I left it like this,
right?
I don't think I'm going to, but and I put the washer out here, where's the dryer? Is the dryer still on the inside of the house because of where that gas is?
That's the dryer right there.
Okay, but so that's electric.
Yep.
Okay, but I guess when we go on the inside, like on this wall right here, there's gas.
Yeah, you can still pull gas over this side too if you wanted to. Just a matter of putting another T on there and going through the wall. That was easy and not that expensive. I don't like them. I'm from Florida, and they have them in the garages all the time. And I hated that because it's freaking hot. You want to go sit in the garage when you're doing the laundry?
Yeah, it just seems really, I don't understand this.
They did it for room. Probably they wanted to get that shower in there. This is inside the panel box, and they're doing what's called double tapping, or here they're actually multiple tapping of these wires. Mm-hmm. They're not allowed to do that, so it should be single wire terminal separation of the wires. They're all together. So that's a fire hazard.
That's a biggie.
Yep, that's going to be changed by an electrician. That probably won't be cheap because he's going to have to install another bus bar. He's going to have to take all these wires apart. It's going to take him a while. So you're probably looking at $500 right there, probably just for that at least. You do have aluminum coming in from the city at the neutral and at both of these poles here. Now they still use aluminum today. You're allowed to have aluminum coming in from the city. That's allowed. Only thing I didn't see any antioxidant paste on these. So copper, for example, when it oxidizes, carries current fine. Aluminum when it oxidizes, it doesn't carry current. Right. Very good. So it looks like there's missing antioxidant paste on those two.
So coming from the city then, so what is that?
The city just didn't do it.
The city will come in and do it?
No, the city didn't. This is pulled in. The city brings it out to here to just outside your house.
Right.
And then at the weatherhead, and then an electrician pulls it into here.
So should the city or an electrician should have?
Electrician will turn everything off, and he'll have to unscrew these.
No. But who should have done it originally? The city or the electrician? Okay.
Yeah. Got it. You probably noticed some of the spalling of the cement up near that top apron there. Mm-hmm. And that's just it's just falling off. It's nothing structurally significant.
Okay.
It's just cosmetic. You can repair it, but it will be a different color. This is a box inside of the water heater room, and it's got electric wire in there. It's nothing. It's just kind of sitting there. There's no cover on it. So I would just close it, put a lock on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no pan here. Now, when they were building this house, and up until recently, they wasn't required to have pans in garages unless the water heater sits over top of the foundation floor, which it does here.
Right.
It set over top of actually today they're required to have drain pans regardless, but if you had it over here.
And they just put this in.
Yeah, it looks new, yeah.
It is.
Which means they probably didn't pull a permit. Because if they pulled a permit, the city would have came out here and said, there's no pan here, blah, 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 you got to do it, and then they would have cleared it until the city was happy. Yeah, it looks like it's a 2018.
Yeah, in the whatever I read, the disclosure or whatever, that it was new.
Yeah. Very new. That's good. Another large tree. It's actually touching the foundation. It's also creating high soil over there. This is something that.
And that's right here, right?
Yeah. Up there.
Okay.
Now that's something, again, if you're doing an FHA or VA, they may require you to remove that tree because that's the only way to get it not touch the structure or treat around it. But it's so tight up against them, you could really get in there and treat it very well. it's actually touching the foundation. So that's something to think about. That's not cheap. Removing a tree is not cheap.
Right.
And sometimes it can cause the act of removing it actually can cause problems because that root system dies underneath there,
and
then you have a void, and then you get some settlement. Yeah. This is some cracking of the front walkway. Most of this is nothing to worry about, but anything over an inch is considered a trip hazard.
Okay.
This is the high soil by that tree there. That's just where it's at. This is another tree. Again, I'm not super concerned about it. You get several locations missing window screens. Pretty small thing, but that's one of the things the state requires for call out screens, window screens. This is the water pressure. It's a little bit high. The range is 40 to 80. It's about almost to 90.
Oh wow. So what is that?
Well, the top end of the range is 80. So I have to call it out and say it's excessive water pressure. You can call a plumber out here. It depends who you get. Somebody may say that that's fine. Don't worry about it. Some of them may say it needs to be brought down below 80.
So where or what is?
Well, they'll have to, if they have to do that, to bring it down, they have to install a pressure reducing valve and an expansion tank. That's probably 1,000 or more.
Okay.
Okay, you probably can't tell that. This is wood rot.
I can.
Trim here on both sides. That's rotten. They try to cover it up, but you can almost always find it.
Yeah.
So this door.
Okay.
This is this door right here. Yeah, there. And then these are both very old. This is one that's covered with hail damage too.
Okay.
I'll get a video here in a second. These are just for me. Actually, I'll show you this. This max breaker is 40. On this one, also the max breaker, you can't see it's also 40. In the panel box, they have one of them in the 50. That needs to be switched to a 40 amp breaker per the manufacturer. Fire hazard, and void of warranty, damage the equipment, and so forth. That's just saying it's the AC.
Oh my gosh.
That's really bad. Now they can comb that out. It's called combing it. It's basically your hairbrush. They kind of comb it and kind of straighten it out a little bit. But both of these are very old. This one's extremely old. Plus they need insulation on the suction line. That other small one. What did I take this for? Oh, because the door's missing and the deck is covering the foundation. So again, this is if you're doing a VA or FHA, they're not going to allow this deck to be touching. You have to trim it away or get some underneath here and treat that area.
Okay.
This is a loose outlet on the back patio here. That's loose in the wall, so you don't want where water can get behind electricity.
Right.
Again, missing window screens. This is just the location of the meter. I had originally taken this because I knocked on the door earlier. I couldn't get access. There was nobody home. They just got home and they let me go back there and check out that side of the house. It looks fine.
Oh, okay.
It looks fine. You or me?
You.
The reason I took this, this is a secondary coming off the air conditioning, which is in the garage. This should be elbowed down, pointing down, like a
right.
L. The reason that is, you see all this. This is from the water.
The water.
It leaps over and runs along here, and then down into here. And sometimes it can get actually into the structure.
Right. That's what I would be afraid of.
So this needs to have a little. That's something you can do. Just get a little elbow.
Okay.
This is a loose outlet right over there.
Okay.
That's really the only one I found.
That's good.
This is a test of the garage door opener, so we do it, and that needs to be adjusted. Plus, it is working intermediately. It worked for me, and then earlier it did not work for me.
Yeah, it didn't work for me when I was here.
So something's up, but this is just you probably saw me kick my foot in front of there just to make sure the electronic eye works, and then I'll do the pressure test where I grab the door and try to stop it. It should, with not too much pressure, but it reverse on its own. And when I grabbed it, it just dragged me down.
Oh wow.
So that needs to be adjusted in the pressure. So I can't stop it. Terribly strong. This is in this bathroom right here.
Okay.
That's very loose in the wall. That valve right there. This is the microwave, and this is just showing stuff working. Basically, these next few pictures. The microwave, manufacturer's label. This is me heating bottled water. This is the cooktop, showing all 4 of the burners are working. And the middle one, that's the middle one. That's just for keep things warm. So they all 4 are working. This is your double oven, both set to 350 and both heated to right around the range is 325 to 375. This light doesn't work. One of these. Probably burnt out bulb.
I was going to say burnt out bulb, or
yeah,
the electricity is...
Burnt out bulb. Okay. 99% on burnt out bulb. This is the dishwasher. Should get between 120 and 150. We got 129, 133, so it was heating and running good. They look like they're all new.
Yeah.
This is very, very loose. And it leaks. It leaks from the hose there.
Okay.
You can see it.
Oh, wow.
You do have cast iron plumbing here. Now, cast iron plumbing lasts a couple, 200-300 years. It's good for a long, long time if it's installed right. The problem with cast iron is that we can't really inspect it, especially if it's encased inside of a foundation. Even if it's in a pier and beam, you can't really inspect it. It corrodes from the inside out. And the report is 99% of the time they're fine. But once in a while, I'll tell somebody that they need to have a plumber come out and take a look at this, or I usually say you need to think about having a plumber come out, because it's about $600 to have everything scoped. Okay. And then they don't do it, and then I've gotten these calls 6 months later telling me that they wish they would listen to me, because it just cost them $30,000 or $20,000. This happens a few times, but I've done 4,000 inspections. That only happened a few times. Sure. So the chances are very unlikely, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Okay. Because if there's something there, the cost is super expensive. Okay. This is just a disposal, and it works fine. You've got an area for an air gap, but they never installed it. So there should be an air gap here. See, that's for clogs at the disposal and the dishwasher. Yeah. They can do create what's called a high loop by taking this hose in here and lifting it up high into I have a picture I can put in the report. Lifting it high into the back of the sink. Mm-hmm. Kind of create, they call it a high loop. It's an acceptable replacement for not having an air gap, or just have them install an air gap. Okay. This is more window screens that are missing. This is more rot. This door is rotten. Is that this door or the one behind us? This one. Okay, from behind. So the door, I didn't want to mess up too much, but I stuck my knife in there pretty easily. Okay. I don't like to take a picture with a knife in there because people get pissed off. And this is starting to rot here too, but more the door. So that door really needs to be replaced. Okay. You can patch it, but that's just putting a Band-Aid on something. Sure. It's gonna happen again. That's a outlet evacuator does not work, and also its cover's loose. That's that one right down there. Okay. These lights did not come on. These two lights in this back area here. Probably burnt out bulb. I just took this picture because all these smoke detectors look to be very old. You also don't have carbon monoxide detectors in here. So. Okay. Any detector over 10 years old should be replaced, whether it tests or not, because it may test fine but not work if they get too old. Okay. And of course, carbon monoxide is danger. Yeah. This is the master fan. I could not get this fan to come on. Okay. It didn't work. This is a failed window in the master. This window here needs to be replaced. Okay. They can reseal it, which makes it energy efficient again, but it's always going to look like that. Okay. It's always going to look dirty. So replacement would be the best option. This is a light in the master, also did not come on. This is the hot side valve at the master tub, and it leaks. Okay. Leaking, you can't see it's leaking out of both sides here. Okay. So that needs to be repaired. The master tub drains slow, very slow. I filled it up, came back a few minutes later, it's just still sitting there, not draining. It may have drained by now, but that's the only place I found drainage problems. So. Okay. I'm not super concerned. This is where it's at. This is termite treatments in both of these. This is what this little thing is for. Oh, okay. Treating termites. This is in the master. This is a windowsill that's a window stool that's rotten. Pretty badly rotten. That window right there. Wow. You can almost put your finger through it. This is another door. It's got some little bit of rot on it. That's one out to the pool. That's one over in this room. And then again over here, door's rotten. Wow. So how does that happen? Just from water leaking? From not having it, not caulking around the outside very well, not being sealed up around the outside. That's usually the cause. But that, again, that's something they can repair if it's just going to
keep doing it.
I'm not as worried about the tiles because you get some water getting through the tiles, and maybe over time they'll get loose. But isn't this wood floors in there?
I don't know.
Yeah, those are wood, I think. Oh, they're tile. Oh, they're tile. They're tile. Okay, so not super.
I don't think it's real hard. Or even the whatever.
Another light, another burnt out bulb. This is just showing the fireplace does work.
Yes, cool.
Doorbell, it doesn't really work that well.
Yeah, did sound
this fan does not work, and that window could not get it open. It's stuck in place. That bedroom in the back there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. First, I took a picture of this. We do not inspect these. This is something you'll have to call the HVAC guy.
Okay, but I was curious. So, what is it that is above to what is this? Like, why are those?
This is a humidifier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is what air conditioners. That's what they did. They dehumidify the air. So this is something that they probably had back in the day when the equipment wasn't when the house was first built. The AC wasn't probably that well. It didn't work that well. So they used this to help take the humidity out of the house. This is another light that's out. That's in that bathroom right there. This is something the homeowner did, I guess. These stairs they're barely together. I did go up there, but that's.
And where is that in the garage?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's scary looking.
It's also I went up it, but I would not be letting anybody up. You get something heavier than me, and that's going to break on me. This is the unit above there. Filter is very dirty.
I was going to say that looks filthy.
Both are dirty. Upstairs, the other one, they're both filthy. That alone is a reason to call it for a full HVAC evaluation because that can damage. Dirty filters can damage the equipment.
Right.
It also can give you false readings. This is you can see that this is the differential at that unit. And we're looking for 15 to 20 degrees. So 53 and that's the float switch that doesn't work. So there's a float switch on that fan, but that's me lifting it. It should turn off the unit. Did not turn off the unit.
Okay.
So 53 and 16. What's that? 16 degrees. So that's within the range, 15 to 20 degrees.
Okay.
This is the other unit. This doesn't have a drain. It doesn't have a float switch. This is the one above the second floor. If anyone needs a float switch, it's really this one, more than that one.
Right, because it's upstairs.
Yeah, it's going to flood the whole house up, maybe flood the garage. So that is not required, but it'll be in the report.
Okay.
Also, this should be.
And it's not required.
Not today. It is. Most cities today it is, but when they install this.
Oh, but when they
Yeah. Filter's super dirty.
Oh my god. That looks like that's never been changed.
It's been there for a
it has been there for a really long time.
Okay.
And it's probably because it being nobody's been here for a really long time.
It's been sitting, yeah.
And then they had a squatter that lived in this house.
Yeah.
So obviously the squatter's
How long has it been vacant?
Since the squatter has been out.
Yeah. Were they squatting? Were they using the showers and drainage and all that?
I mean, I would assume so. I mean, the squatter was here for 2 months.
Oh. Yeah, that may be another reason you want to think when houses are vacant for a long time, especially if they have cast iron plumbing. One of the problems that I run into before, the house has been empty for a long time. Everything drains fine for the most part, and then you move in and you and your family start using things on a daily basis, and all of a sudden, toilets aren't working, things aren't draining right. So that may be a little more reinforcing why you may want to go with getting it scoped.
Okay.
This is the AC differential on the second floor. We can't poke through the steel ducts, but we have a 64 and a 64, so it's not even cooling at all. Zero cooling. So
it's almost to the point that we need 2 new air conditioners.
Well, you definitely get them fully evaluated and see what they say, but I imagine that the HVAC guys can come out and he's going to take a look about this. Those are super old. They're not if it's working today, they're probably working in a month. Probably something like that. Attic units are old too. I think there's a new coil at one of them, but just a full evaluation and either replace or repair.
Okay.
This is a single drain at the pool, and this should have what's called an anti-entrapment device.
Yeah, for the drowning thing. Yes.
Yep.
I'm a pool person.
Oh, okay.
So I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff the pool doesn't make. There's all kinds of. I don't put it in the report anymore because there's 2 pages of stuff a pool's supposed to have. Most cities only require that anti-entrapment device.
Yeah.
This is one of your motors, and it doesn't have a bonding wire.
Hmm.
So somebody could technically come up here and touch this metal casing and get shocked.
Get shocked, yeah.
Likely they're wet when they do it because they're probably. So they need to be bonded to electrically to the system. This one right here. This one is actually connected. So, but this one is not. That one is not.
Okay, that's very serious.
The pool cleaner does not work.
Oh, awesome.
So that needs. Sometimes there's a clog in there. We need to get some out and take a look and see if it's a clog or if it's just not working. This should be water shooting out of here.
Right.
This is a GFCI. Ignore this. I thought it was broken, but I just didn't push the button hard enough.
Okay.
So it's fine. You can't see here, but a couple of these boards in that one corner are loose.
Okay.
The rest of the deck is fine though. And then again, this is the door.
The door that's.
This is the not working. So it'll say intermediate worked, but then it intermediately worked. That's just to remind me it's the garage. And this is the heat on the first floor. Great. 102 is great. Second floor, 120 is great. So both heating is working great.
Okay. That's something.
Yeah. We do more air here than we do heat though.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing.
All right.
So, actually, overall, pretty good. I think you can get them to replace the HVAC. I mean, most of these things are pretty small.
Yeah.
Especially for a house of this age. It's what, almost 30 years old?
Where is it, 79, is
74,
it? Oh, 74. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know, but I saw 74.
I would go with what you said before.